Alrighty, everyone. So we are now back at it live here from RWA Inc. Going to give you a bunch of the latest news and really getting you up to speed on both what has been going on lately, but what is really coming next. And you know this, the town hall is the only place that you can ever hear really about the future of RWA Inc. So always attend these events because this is where we speak about the really big stuff. Today, it has unfortunately been the situation that Kevin is so busy at Token 2049 in meetings with both our clients and investors and some significant partners and even exchanges. So we are going to take it today between AJ and myself, but you will be able to see Kevin back on the town hall next time. And we will also be inviting two significant board members that we have added to the team to the next event. So definitely stay on. We're going to go through a ton of important things. And honestly, it becomes much more tangible now as things are materializing for RWA Incorporated. So first of all, just to take a few slides from Kevin, and I'll be covering those today. What's really important for Q2 is, as you can imagine, we had to scale out our board of directors with very experienced people from the Web2 world who can bring us a lot of that understanding from family offices, bigger VCs, make sure we have the right connections to the banks, and of course also help us with all of the security license stuff. So all of that has happened, and we have a separate slide in a moment about those two figures that we added onto the board. Additionally, client launches is extremely important. You all know we wanted to do client launches already in Q1, but because of the market, we had to wait until now. But as you see already now, we have two clients that are going live. Backstage is going live on next week on the 7th. The IDO itself, pre-registration is going on as we speak, and they will go TGE on the 13th. Additionally, we have RWA, which is the AI agent team that we're working together with, and they will be listing on Virtual's Genesis on Monday. So definitely be on the outlook for all of these exciting clients that we will finally see go to market. And then, of course, a very, very big focus for us is the market presence, awareness, making sure people know us. And it's funny because I was at Token 2049 with Kevin and with Amir, our head of product, and it was really exciting because anywhere we went, people kind of knew us. People have heard about RWA Inc. if they come from the crypto world. So the awareness is 100% out there, and people know what we're building. A lot of people are looking to us and actually looking up to us for how professionally we actually built this business. And this was really exciting to hear, especially as the last event we were with Convergence, where we were together with Cryptic and PrimeLink, and we actually gathered all of our ecosystem partners, clients, investors, and it was really interesting to see how positive they all speak of RWA Incorporated. So we are going to do a lot more on market presence, and as I've mentioned in our Telegram group, but also on X, we have a very significant Korean expansion that we're working on. And the reason why Korea is because Korea is very, very interesting for Web3. And we have not really spent enough energy and time or money for that sake on our presence in Korea. So a lot more coming for that here in Q2. As I mentioned, we've added two very significant board members. And it's interesting because most Web3 projects, they cannot bring on these type of people. The reason why they cannot bring on these type of people is because they're typically not really building what they're saying they're building, or they may just be working very heavily on just marketing and not really products or disruption. These two gentlemen on this slide are some of the best in their specific niche areas. So Sean is a very experienced person within fundraising, startup capital, scale-ups. He's been working with brands like Google, PayPal, and with Revolut. We have Steven, who has been with Microsoft, Procter & Gamble, and now is running a shipping setup where they built ships at billion-dollar valuations. So what we're really doing here is that we are bringing the professional Web2 into Web3. Even our board members are so excited about what we are building, and they believe in the disruption that we have in front of us. the fact that investments will happen in a very different way in the future, and that RWA will be building some of that infrastructure, if not the main infrastructure for that purpose. So we're super excited to have these players on board because they open doors that no one else can open. And you will be able to see that in the future. If we talk a little bit about the scaling presence, here's just an example. We were at Token 2049. As you can see, I'm in most of these shots. And I'm there with Kevin, I'm there with Amir, and also with Safi, our legal counsel. And of course, what we do at these places is we want to tell people about us. We want to tell about what we're building and why we're building it. But we also want to learn from others, and we want to connect with the right integration opportunities, partners, investors, and especially clients. Alone at this event, which was a coin store event, but we were really there because we were on a panel which was about bridging the $1 trillion RWA market. And we had a really, really interesting conversation. We had 4 very important people on this panel. First of all, Mantra. You've all heard about Mantra and kind of what happened. It was a really good discussion. We didn't speak too much about that, but they are, of course, building the technology and the blockchain of the area of tokenization. Then we had a team that actually tokenizes the durian kind of businesses that they're running. So making it possible for people to invest into their durian farms through the blockchain and through the whole tokenization space. We also had an institutional focused person that is really about private loans, treasuries, bonds, and things like that. And then we had us, who is here to enable infrastructure, enable investors to deploy capital in a more secure, more seamless, and also liquid manner, both for primary and the secondary market. So it's really exciting. This conversation was very professional. We had some really good discussions about this space. And what we all agreed on is that we're early adopters and we're kind of pushing the limits. But the ones that dare to push the limits and the one that dares to step into this space, they will be a significant part of that $1 trillion future. And that's what we here in RWA are doing. Additionally, we had the Convergence event, as I mentioned before, with Cryptic and PrimeLink, where we really connected with a ton of our ecosystem and had a really, really amazing evening. We were able to bring backstage in front of some really significant investors and really build that connection with everyone that we already know, but now in person. So if we go to what we're really building and where we are with the whole roadmap of things, we talked about this slide a few times before. Of course, the text and the information changes every single time. But as you can see on the project acceleration, we right now have 9 clients who are in project acceleration for RWA. We also have 10 clients right now being run through the whole sign-up process to see if we can bring them on board. We're, of course, doing significant due diligence on these clients. We're making sure that we know that these are high-quality people, skilled founders, and ready to build for the future. The public crowdfunding side has gone live for the first time ever. We've been able to bring Backstage on our IDO platform. Pre-registrations are happening right now on launch.rwa.inc. And at the same time, we have announced a $50,000 giveaway for our gold members plus of the RWA AI agent token. So a token that's been run by another team, but we are here to back them, support them, and really help them with everything that we know, just like we're doing with Backstage and everyone else. The private fundraising platform is really getting close. We're seeing all of the designs are done. We know exactly what we're building. The developers are working on it. And right now it's just a wait for the development to come to market. But it will really change the way you do investments in the future in pre-launched projects. It makes it possible for you to be your own little VC, your own little angel, and make it possible to invest prior to market expansion. That is, of course, where we often see that most of the opportunities lie. So this is what we bring to market, and it will be done here in Q2. Additionally, the public trading platform, or the DEX, as we mentioned many times before, is going really well, but we are potentially pushing the launch of this into Q3 because we need to focus so much on making sure the private investment platform is really working exactly as we want it to. We want to test it, we want to validate it, and we want to make sure that it is the first and only investment platform built this way, and also the secure and compliant platform built this way. So a little bit of a delay on the DEX, but we definitely believe that we will be making it here in Q3. If we talk a bit more about Q2, we managed to complete the board member expansion and also add significant fund managers. We have expanded massively on our database for angels, VCs, and institutional investors, but that is an ongoing thing we keep doing, but it's going really well. We've been able to complete kind of parts of the private investment platform, but now it's in development, ready to push out here in Q2. We will be working on the DEX as we go. We are designing things. We're making a lot of different decisions on it as we speak. And the development will start as soon as the investment platform is ready. The AI agents, as I mentioned before, is the separate team that is building that. And we are getting the IP from that team into our own platform. So as soon as they develop and finish the product, which should go live Monday next week, we start building the integration directly into our own ecosystem, making it possible for everyone who has RWA tokens to use AI agents to do research, due diligence, and even advisory at some point for how to invest and also how to launch projects. We are working on reaching that 10,000 mark for KYC users. We're pretty much 90% complete on this, meaning that we're just around 9,000 KYC users on the platform as we speak. The listing on the tier 1 is right now an ongoing process. We're talking with 5 or 6 different platforms, and we will of course proceed with one of them as fast as possible. But it is all in active ongoing discussions. We wanted to also sign up 10 new RWA and DPIN clients. As I said, we have 10 plus in the pipeline, so we do believe that that will be possible. We aim to launch 5 of our clients. So far, we've launched 2 out of 5. This is, of course, Backstage and RWA, which are both going to market as we speak. We wanted to also complete the first license in this quarter. And today, AJ can actually speak a bit more about this because we are officially licensed in the UAE. And we'll come with more details on that and also announce it to all of the community on Monday next week. Then we have buyback and burns. And as you know, we've done 50K so far, but more is to come. We will, of course, keep you posted. And we all know you would like some more buyback and burns. We will do it as we have promised. So keep a little bit of patience with us, and we will make sure to push everything to market as planned. Now, if we talk a little bit about the product itself, the platform that we're building, we have the 4 levels that you all know about: the AI agent, the private fundraising section, the public fundraising section, and also the DEX. The AI agents are really 90% completed, and we will start the integration work into the RWA platform very soon. The private fundraising section is about 80% complete. All designs, everything is done. And I will actually give you a sneak peek into what it is that we're building and what it is that will come to market soon. We also have our public section live. And here we have Backstage and RWA being the first 2 clients going out. And the DEX is in the preparations and design process. So we do expect the complete platform and ecosystem by Q3 of this year, which is making it one and only platform where you can actually do what you can do with RWA. And in the future, you will even be able to invest into equity of startups and other asset classes, just like we have promised, of course, coming with the security licenses. But let me talk a little bit about the actual product, because what we're doing now is that we're changing the experience of the RWA platform. The RWA investor platform will have 2 different sections now. You will be able to deploy capital into projects before they go to market in the private investment section. This private investment section will be for Gold Plus holders, but in some cases, there might be a project which is only for Diamond or Platinum. So what is important here is that a lot of projects, they may spend 3, 4, 5, 6 months getting from their preparations to their launch. And during that period, they do fundraising. to make sure they get to market with the best possible conditions and the product ready, etc. So here you get an opportunity to deploy bigger tickets, bigger and secured placements of investments through that private investment platform. So everything happens on our platform in the future. Right now, many of you might not know this, but right now investments happens by being in a Telegram group or in an email. You receive what is called a SAFT, which is a contract, which is what you sign, and then you send some tokens to a wallet. Doesn't always feel fully secure and not always something that has actually delivered the results that people were hoping for. We have seen a lot of scams, a lot of bad actors in the space taking advantage of this. And this is where this platform changes everything, because all of the management of the processes is being run by RWA, fully licensed and compliant, making sure that nothing can go wrong because everything is done through smart contracts and the secure system on chain. Also, even the contract that you'll sign with these projects is going to be stored in the actual platform. So you can always go back and find your contract and see the tokens you have. You can withdraw them, all of the vesting, everything happens in one place. Just like doing an IDO, but now for the private rounds that normally VCs and angels are the only ones getting access to. So if you look at the design of this, there's of course going to be a lot more details now. We're going to be a lot more clear with everything. So as you can see here in the top, you will have the project info, the fact that you can transfer funds, you will have the actual SAFT or contract, and you will be able to claim your tokens. Additionally, all of the due diligence materials that you ever need to be able to figure out, is this project something that's interesting to invest into, will all be in this one place. You don't need to go to any other location. You don't need to look at their website. You don't need to check out their white paper, because all of that is on the platform itself. And what's even more cool about this is that when we have the AI agents integrated, you will be able to speak to an AI agent and ask that AI agent's questions about this project. And the AI agent will be able to answer you in seconds, giving you precise answers to what is it really the details are in this project. It will be able to find that on the website, in the white paper, in all of their materials, even their tokenomics. As we go through it, they will of course have the opportunity to show out their core team and advisors. Again, this is a mock-up, so that's why we've used our own faces. But this is where you will be able to go through all of the team, key investors that they have on board, everything like that. You'll be able to see the fully diluted kind of token distribution, all of the clarity around this, even the essential documents, as I mentioned before, the white paper, the pitch deck, even an explainer video, or maybe the CEO doing a pitch on a video to you, all in one place, making this very, very seamless. And this is what we want to bring. We want to bring technology and infrastructure that enables investors and founders to meet each other in a secure place where funds can be transferred, and then the founder can just do the work and the investor can sit back, relax, and wait for the results. We, of course, also have a lot of discussions around marketing. So marketing, we see a lot of people coming to our community being like, hey, we need to do some more marketing. You're absolutely right. We need to do more marketing, but marketing also costs money, and you need to be smart about your marketing. We had 3 months of down period. Now the market is starting to look a little bit better. We're still not in the very good market, but it's looking a little bit better. And this means that we need to take advantage of that momentum. So now we're starting to ramp up some of the marketing. 2 of our clients are launching. We're doing a lot of PR. We've been pushing some KOLs. We're doing paid ads. Additionally, we're working on a very large go-to-market for Korea. And I know I mentioned this in the beginning, but we're working with a significant third party who has a lot of experience in Korea. They are even extremely connected to Token Post, which is the biggest PR outlet in Korea, and some of the biggest KOLs in Korea. And those are going to be working with us, together with the RWA project and token. Additionally, we will, of course, have more client launches coming here this quarter, so you can expect a lot more marketing from this. And then our focus on listing on a larger exchange is, of course, something we care a lot about. We know you all care about it. So we are focusing heavily on making that happen. But of course, multiple things needs to be in order before that happens. They care about users on the product, success with the launches. They care about our volume on daily basis, and they care about what products do we actually have in market. So a lot of things are being done at the same time. And of course, the fact that we are being licensed now is something that also pushes things positively. 2 more slides and then I'll hand it over to you, AJ. But clients and fundraising, just for you to know, we do have multiple clients in the private fundraising. It is not on the platform as we speak because we don't have a private investment platform section yet. That is to come this quarter. But these projects on the screen are available to take private investments. If there's any interest, feel free to reach out and we will put you in contact with the right people for this to happen. One spotlight we wanted to do is, of course, Backstage. Backstage is one of our clients launching on our IDO next week. It's the first client running an IDO at RWA Inc., and it will be the first client doing the TGE from the IDO. So this is, of course, a very interesting client for us. The team is really disrupting something we believe needs disruption. The fact that events, travel accommodation is like it is today doesn't really make a lot of sense. And what they do at Backstage is make it secure, the whole ticketing system, everything around flights and hotels, making it cheaper, faster, and easier to both pay for, but also to plan through their whole platform. Additionally, you will be able to buy all of this with crypto, meaning that you can take your trip to Tomorrowland or to Samna or to some other event, and you can do that all through one place. Both book your tickets, book your flights, book your hotels, and get everything done there. And what's exciting about this is that they work together with the managers of the artists. So they know the managers of Tiesto, of Enrique Iglesias, of all of these different, very significant artists, and they can give access to this for the manager. So the managers can actually start earning some funds on doing travel and accommodation. This has never been seen before. Normally, hotels.com, booking.com, or whatever is making that money, or the hotel themselves. Now it will be the managers taking some cut together with the hotels and, of course, the Backstage ecosystem and investors. So pre-registration is open, finishing on Wednesday this week at 6 a.m. UTC. The guaranteed round is at 10 a.m. UTC on Wednesday next week. And the first come, first serve opens at 10 a.m. on the 8th of May. So we are pushing this through next week. So be available, look for it. We already have hundreds of signups, so get ready for it. Bring up your tiering and make sure that you get your allocation before it's too late. We know that the listing price will be 12 million in FDV, but the IMC is really 398,400, excluding the liquidity, just below a million, including the liquidity. There is a 15% unlock at TGE, so 15% of your tokens is delivered at TGE. Thereafter, there's daily vesting for a 6 months period. No cliff at all, so you get tokens every single day. There is also the private round available at an 8 million FDV valuation, 10% unlock at TGE, and then an 8 months vesting period. So if you're interested, feel free to reach out to us. AJ, please take it from there.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you doing the heavy lifting on these calls as usual. Before I get into all this, I just kind of want to say, having been in this space for going on 4 years now, it's just really impressive to see kind of what the full team has been able to do in such a short period of time. Obviously you've got Mike and myself on this call, and Kevin is running around giving us a bunch of action items to follow up on the back of Token 2049. But it really takes the entire team. We've been able to build a really impressive team, just from, up top to bottom. The business development team brings us, more really interesting deals than we can even service at the moment. And that's, a reflection of what we're doing right now, bringing clients to market. The product development team I mean, we've gotten so much done in such a short period of time, and most importantly for me, cost effectively. It's been really, really impressive to see what these guys are capable of. The design team, you saw what Mike put together and shared on what we're doing on the investor platform. All of this comes with input from marketing to understand how this should be branded, how it should be presented. Our presence at events, again, doing these things very cost effectively, which is near and dear to my heart. We can make, we're making a ton of progress, and we're kind of humming on all cylinders. So it's one of these things that is very rare in the Web3 space. I think a lot of folks have really good ideas, and what you're seeing here is a really impressive ability to execute on those ideas. So just kind of looking at what happened in April on the business and finance side. So I think many of you saw at the beginning of the month or end of Q1, we were able to do a very successful buyback and burn. We took $50,000 of our profits for the quarter, and that totaled 3.3 million tokens burned, which is over 70% of the total tokens we've burned to date, which now collectively represents 1.5% of our total circulating supply. So we're really happy with that. Q2 revenues are continuing to grow and are being allocated accordingly for future burns. So, that, continues to kind of operate the way we were expecting it to. On the licensing side, Mike pointed out, we got our RACDAO initial license issued. That's obviously really important. It allows us to run IDOs on our platform, which is critical for the upcoming launches that we have. So very timely. We've got additional applications underway with 2 additional regulatory bodies, and this will be full licensing applications. Both of these support security token issuance. So beyond just the utility token where we're at today, which is, again, kind of part of the long-term business plan for any of the folks listening that were at Token 2049. Unfortunately, I wasn't, but I heard that the entire talk of the show was RWA, right? And specifically securities, which seems to be the direction that the world is going, which I personally think has the biggest chance to have kind of a disruptive influence on traditional finance. So we're really excited about that. Those licenses would allow us to do some really interesting things in the space that very, very few people around the world are able to do. So those are ongoing. We expect those to be completed this year, hopefully in Q3. We additionally added a sandbox application with one of the world's largest digital asset regulatory bodies. And this is specifically for security token issuances of equities. So this is an area of focus for this particular regulator. The sandbox approach allows us to effectively demonstrate what we think we're capable of in an environment that is a little bit more friendly. And we can almost work in collaboration with regulators to come up with the right solutions. So in a lot of ways, that is going to be the groundwork for the larger products that we end up building. Just on the investment side, we are a strategic investor in RWA, and with the launch that's coming up on May 5th, we're keeping a close eye on that. I think we're really excited about the potential for that. And if you see what that team is building, it's pretty impressive. Where I believe it's taking 6 different large language models, kind of pulling them all together, scouring the internet for everything RWA, token issuance related. So there's going to be a lot more that comes on this. And that product is going to be a really powerful tool for people who are looking to do research into the RWA space, looking at interesting investment opportunities. But that has been, very impressive to see what has been done in a short period of time as well. And as an investor, we stand to benefit if the project does well. And then just as a quick sanity check on where we are in terms of, what the temperature in the market is for long-term support for us. So we have 51 million RWA staked, which is 14.5% of our circulating supply, which is actually an uptick from last month. So we're seeing very strong kind of long-term, holding of our token. And I think the only reason we don't see more is because a lot of the tokens that we have with folks in the community are held on centralized exchanges where, you don't have the ability to actually stake. You have to go on chain to do that. And there is a reluctance in some cases for folks to do that. But really exciting month and a lot more exciting stuff to come in the future.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, AJ. And I think here at the end, we simply just wanted to say RWA Inc. is as of now, fully licensed in the UAE. And I know that everyone can go out and say that, and they can, just put it on a slide. This is why we put the actual link here and even the document that you can search for, so you can find the actual license document on their own domain, validating that RWA Inc. has been fully licensed. So with that, we just want to say thank you all for taking the time once again. We really enjoy that you're all still with us, and we know that this ecosystem will only be growing in the future. We are now in the very exciting period where things starts to become real. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks for the time, everyone.